Hey there, retro gamers. David here, the Game Over CEO, and welcome to another episode of Game Overcast, the show that goes behind the scenes of America's favorite retro game store, Game Over Video Games. Isn't that nice? So, welcome back to another show. And first off, I want to mention something that I forgot to mention on the last show, because I've been so busy lately. It's been kind of crazy, but, moved the store in Houston. I was there 2 weeks in a row. Then moved a family member, then moved the Tacoma store. So it's been like one physical move after another every week for like the past 4 weeks. So I'm really feeling that today. So I'm sorry, but I am sore. My back hurts. I am running on pretty little sleep. I think I got 3 hours of sleep last night. So I'm a little ragged. But there's one thing I forgot to mention on the show last week, our first show back from the Tacoma travels, which is my ear is fixed. I don't think I even mentioned this, like even in passing on the show, even in, like briefly. But remember my big bandaged ear, and I had the chopped off, piece, and then they patched it up with a piece from here and patched it up and everything. And I've had it bandaged for like 2 months. I got to take the bandages off last week. So like right before the show, and then I didn't even mention it on the show. Bad host. But anyway, so look, it's a sexy new ear. Ooh, isn't it nice? Ooh. So anyway, I'm just glad that it looks relatively normal. The scar's on the back, so it's not that big a deal. And and more importantly, I don't have to do the bandaging anymore, because that was a hassle. I had to hydrogen peroxide, wash that off and clean it and bandage it every day. I did that every day for 2 months, and so I'm definitely glad to be done with that. But yeah, like I said, I'm a little ragged today, so I'm gonna try and do my best. I'm rocking the purple shirt today, so that's always a good sign. Something, some kind of change, something different is gonna happen maybe on this show. But yeah, so I'm all fixed up and better. And I know in the last show, if you saw the first 2 seconds or the last 2 seconds of the show, you saw some of my accidents with my friend Rob over here. And, I was trying to be all cool and athletic in the beginning of the show, which apparently I am neither. And so I kicked Rob in the head, and we had to bandage him up. But I think he's okay, too. So I'm going to take his bandage off, and we're going to, we were bandaged up, both of us, but now we're going to be unbandaged and, yeah, be able to go forward in life. He's fine. It's like it never happened. It never happened. So, yeah, super cool. All right, so I'm good to go. You're good to go. Are you ready for the show, Rob? Yeah, I think that's a yes. So he's ready. All right, well then let's jump into the show with level 1, current events, and see what's going on in the world of gaming. Hey there, welcome back. Now we're at level 1, the current events section of the show. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world of video gaming. A couple of reports to point out this week. The first one I thought was kind of interesting. The New York Post. See, I'm half asleep. This is going to be rough. Sorry. The New York Post reported that a man with a $34,000 man cave, it was an old shed that he converted it and put in retro games and TVs, and he has like a Back to the Future wall in it, like all memorabilia from Back to the Future, retro gaming. There's a bar in it. $34,000 into fixing up this old shed into the ultimate man cave, and it's reported that he used that to get a girlfriend. So that's how he attracted his girlfriend, is he brought her there. And I guess because she wasn't horrified, running screaming, saying, wow, this guy just spent $34,000 on all this stuff, she thought it was pretty cool. And so now they hooked up, and so now they're together. And so that's nice. He lives in England, too, which I thought was interesting, but and how the story made it to the New York Post. But anyway, they showed a picture of them, too, and it's funny because they're both really good-looking people. So, there's no reason they couldn't have found each other or somebody. It didn't take a $34,000 man cave makeover of a shed to bring them together. But anyway, he says, thanks, $34,000 well spent. And she says, hey, if you want to win me over, it only takes $34,000, and I'll be your girlfriend too. Isn't that nice? Well, anyway, so that's fun. Let's see. And so I'm sure they're really enjoying some social media fame right now. But the man cave looks cool. The pictures were cool. Like I said, the couple looks nice. They look happy and whatever, and good looking people. And the room is nice looking. So I'm sure it's getting a lot of press. It's obviously made it from England over here. So yeah, now they're worldwide celebrities and a couple. Isn't that nice? All right. So that's all the national news, or international, I guess, news in that case. Let's talk about more retro gaming specific stuff. What's going on in the world of retro games, because that's what we all care about here. So Capcom has announced a new game called Capcom Fighting Collection. That's going to be coming out June 24th. It'll be on current consoles and digital formats, of course, but it includes 10 of the classic 2D fighters from Capcom. And it's not like 10 different versions of Street Fighter either, so it's like a bunch of different stuff. So it's 10 games. It's going to have Street Fighter 2, which is required. They have that, like the Hyper Edition or whatever of that. But they also have all 5 Darkstalkers games. So like the original Night Warriors, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2. Plus they have Cyberbots, Red Earth, Super Gem Fighter, and Super Puzzle Fighter. So some really cool and kind of unique, hard to find nowadays 2D fighting games. So they're going to put them all in a collection. So that's really cool. So June 24th. Keep an eye out for that. And let's see here.
Can we sabotage your notes?
Yes, my pages are out of order. I was like, wait a minute, that's not what comes next. Son of a gun. Okay. In other news, other retro gaming news, I think I'm organized now. Also, there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game coming out. So it's called Shredder's Revenge. Also coming to current gen consoles, but it's going to have a very retro look. It's like the artistic kind of pixelated graphics. 4 players simultaneous. You can obviously be the 4 different turtles, but plus April O'Neil, vehicles. So you can, I guess, be one of the vehicles or control the vehicles. And plus, they just announced that Master Splinter is going to be one of the characters you can be, too. So that'll be fun. Everybody loves those turtle games, and especially the ones that... This sounds like it's more like the traditional, original arcade game. 4-player, beat 'em up, adventure, just, yeah. Yeah, basically a beat 'em up. Beat 'em up. But lots of fun. Everybody loves the turtles, and so very cool. And then lastly, in retro news, the Nintendo Switch Online continues to expand. And so in that new expansion pack, they're adding Zelda Majora's Mask. So it's available now in the Switch Online expansion pack. So, everybody knows that game, so I don't really need to talk too much about the game. But it's cool that it's there. And they continue to, beef up their online offerings. Everybody's trying to keep up. Xbox really is kind of, pretty dominant in online gaming. And, PlayStation's trying to catch up. Switch is trying to catch up. Everybody wants to be in that space, and that's where they want to be. They don't want to just sell you a game. They want to sell you, games every month. They want that money every month forever. So they're all trying to steer that direction. But that's just the state of current gaming. But anyway, so new titles coming out soon or available now in the case of Zelda. Check those out on your online service or at your local game store. And that's it for local or national gaming news. So now let's bring it home to the Game Over world. So what's going on at your local Game Over video game store? Let's go to level 2 with company events. And we're back with level 2 company events. So what's going on this week in your local Game Over video game store? Sales, of course. We have sales all the time. So here are the upcoming sales. So probably right now when you're watching this show, we are doing a clearance sale. So going on from now through March 17th. So that's going to be a clearance sale. Every store has like a metal, rack or a bin somewhere in the middle or back of the store. It's normally black, metal rack that has clearance items in there. We put like broken consoles, stuff we couldn't really fix, but we sell, real cheap for parts. So if you want to you can normally buy like 2 or 3 of the same kind and then Frankenstein them together and get it to work, or you can mod them out and do various things or art projects with them. Plus we have some closeout, other merchandise from the stores, discontinued items, excess like overstock, games or accessories, stuff like that. Some stores only have a little bit. Some stores have a lot. So you really have to check, all your local Game Over video game stores to find the best selection. But we always have that in the stores. But this week we're doing 50% off. So whatever everything in there is marked, which can be anywhere from like $1 up to maybe $20 or $30 on some of the broken consoles. It's all half price right now. So definitely come, help us out, help us unload all that stuff this week and take it off our hands. And yes, save some big money. So if you're into modding, into repairs or stuff like that, those broken consoles, I mean, there's a lot of people that just come in every month for that stuff and literally make money because they buy a couple of them, fix them up, resell them. It's a really cool process, and it's kind of a unique thing that we do. Not a lot of game stores actually sell their broken stuff, but we do because people have asked us for it before, and we thought, well, hell, we'll just start selling it. So anyway, but that's on sale. That ends March 17th, so get to your local store soon. Also on March 17th, that's St. Patrick's Day. So happy soon-to-be St. Patrick's Day, everybody. And on that one day, that Thursday only, we're doing a one-day sale where if you wear green, it can be a green shirt, green, pants, socks, tie, anything green. Underwear, but you have to kind of show us. So Dan says underwear, but I don't really want people coming in showing us their underwear.
Bummer.
We might have to take your word for it, or if you can just pull a tiny little piece. I don't know. Probably not. Don't show us your. I don't want to even have a little window for you to show us your underwear, but just okay. Let's say anything except underwear, because you have to kind of prove it to us. You can't just say I have green underwear on. You want to see it, and then of course we're going to say no, and then it's who's right. We don't know. There's no proof. So besides underwear, wear something green, save 25% off. Easy to do. Not online, obviously, because we can't see you over your computer what you're wearing. Probably for the best. But yeah, come into the stores, wear something green, save 25%. Anything in the store, even hardware. So it's really a good deal just for putting on a green T-shirt or something and coming into our stores. But you do have to tell the staff, Happy St. Patrick's Day. Give me 25% off. So if you say all that, you get 25% off. Let's see. The next sale after that, so if you're watching or listening to this podcast a little later on, the next one coming up is March 18th through 24th. And during that week-long sale, we're doing Intellivision and ColecoVision. All used games are 30% off. So if you have those systems and you're looking to fill out your collection a little bit, most of the games are pretty cheap anyway for those systems. But an extra 30% off, I mean, that has some extra cash there. So you save some money. That is available online. The online code is RETRO30, RETO. Let me see if I can spell retro. Yeah, that's right. RETRO 30. Yes. Got it. And so, do Retro 30 online, and you get 30% off Intellivision and ColecoVision used games from March 18th through 24th. So, yeah, come check us out during that time and save some big money on some rare old console games. Let's see, upcoming events. We do those too. Free events in-store. In Game Over stores every month. We call it the Super Retro Challenge. It's the second Saturday of every month. And so that's coming up, depending on when you watch the show. One is on March 12th, which will be right around the time you're watching this show. The next one will be April 9th. So if you missed the one on March 12th, just check out the one April 9th. And you can see which games are being played and the rules and sign-up times and stuff like that on the Facebook pages for the stores. And we do it in 5 stores, and these are the stores. The one in Bellevue, Washington, the one in Arlington, Texas, the one in South Austin, the one in Selma, which is just on the north side of San Antonio, and the one in Houston on 1960 on the northwest side. So check out those 5 stores in person or on their Facebook pages and get all the details on those events. Again, the event days are Saturday nights, March the 12th and April the 9th. So those are the next ones coming up. So check into those. Classic Game Fest news. Classic Game Fest is the big event that, started off as a Game Over thing, and now it's grown into its own thing. But, we still, take part and, help run it and everything every year to keep it going. But it continues to grow bigger and bigger every week. We're up to 76 vendor booths now. We've got guests and bands that we're locking down now, and we'll start those announcements. Or actually, we have started those announcements now. The first announcement this week was George G to the Next Level Grayson. So, Hey, George. Welcome to Classic Game Fest. He was there as a guest last year, coming back again this year. So we're happy to have him. And so you can see those announcements on the Classic Game Fest website and social media pages, just anything at Classic Game Fest, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And we'll be making announcements there every week. So he's the first and the first of many. So we'll be doing at least one a week announcements, probably from now till the show. Let's see. So stay tuned on that. Tickets, if you want to go, they're on sale now online at classicgamefest.com. Also, vendor booths are on sale. We typically have about 120 to 150 vendor booths total, but it just also depends on how much space each vendor takes up. And of the 76 we have so far, a lot of those have multiple tables, multiple booths. So we'll definitely be over 100, but if you want a spot there and you haven't reserved it already, you definitely want to do that soon. So you can do that at classicgamefest.com/vendors and get all the info. How big is the booth? What comes with it? What are the pricing? All that kind of stuff. So check that out now if you want a booth. Let's see. So that is Classic Game Fest news. Then this is like going to be a little mini segment. So this is another little Game Over update. It's not quite a full-fledged segment in the show yet, but it'll be kind of a random thing that we'll do from time to time. And that is, what has your local Game Over video game store gotten in trade-ins lately that's not a video game or anything really video game related, per se? So I don't know what to call that segment. That's obviously kind of long. How about just cool crap we get in trades? Okay. So, episode 1, are you ready? Okay, here we go. So, you can't see this.
Nope.
Okay. So, here. Now you can. All right. So, apparently, we got this bucket of toys in one of our stores combined with a trade. And sometimes people just have, you know how it is, they have like buckets of stuff and bring us buckets of stuff to sell. And sometimes they're going through, here's Nintendo, here's some games, here's, all my controllers and a big, nest of wires, a big, knot, Christmas vacation type of knot of wires. And then sometimes at the bottom of these tubs, we find random other things. And sometimes the people are like, oh, that's mine. Like, I didn't mean to do that. I'll keep that part. And sometimes they're just like, I don't want that either. So just include that with the trade. Like, y'all can have it. So we got some cool toys, including Grogu. Look, and it's not small. It's like...
That's life size.
That's life size. So we got a little Grogu. I think he stands up. Yeah. So that's pretty cool, right? And then we got little Grogu in his little rolly thing. Does that roll? It looks like it would... Oh, it takes batteries. I need to get some batteries. And then this sucker, moves. So that's kind of cool. We got, like a stormtrooper. Looks like from
Scout Trooper
from Endor.
Yeah.
You testing my Star Wars knowledge?
No, I'm testing my own Star Wars knowledge.
Dan's like, man, that's the one from Endor. I know. Ride the speeder bikes. And we got Darth Vader right here with what looks like a...
He used to have a lightsaber.
an impotent Darth Vader. He's got no more lightsaber. Sorry about that, Anakin. Yeah, they have medications for that now. You can get that fixed. And then Spider-Man, who's in some kind of really heroic Spider-Man-y kind of pose, like he's always kind of flexing. Look at that. And I don't think of Spider-Man as being taller than these other guys either.
Yeah.
You think Spider-Man would really come up to about here on these guys? Because Spider-Man's, he's a kid.
He's a teenager.
He's a teenager. So this looks like he could put a beat down on Darth Vader there. I don't think that's right. So anyway, why were they in somebody's bucket of trades? I don't know. Why did they not want them back? I don't know. What are we going to do with them? I don't know. What should we do with them? I don't know. Comment on the show. What should we do? You want to give them away on the show? Does anybody want them?
Yeah.
All right. So here they are. I might keep little Grogu as a little support being with me.
He'll hang out with Rob over there.
Yeah. But otherwise, let me know what you think we should do with them, or if you want them, what you would do with them, and I don't know. I mean, we could also have little skits. We could act stuff out on the show. Hey, what are you doing after work today? Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do? Oh, wait, what was that? Sorry, Spidey. How can you fall? You're supposed to catch yourself.
Sure, just took a weird turn.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I haven't played with toys in a while, but okay, that's a weird pose. All right. So yeah, fun stuff. And I'm gonna keep Grogu out here because I think he's gonna be a cool little sponsor of the show. Actually, yeah. I guess.
By Rob.
Could I put him by Rob?
Yeah,
They can be friends.
You can help him with his name.
Does that look better?
Yeah.
You know, y'all could do like a duet here. Here, I don't know if we can.
Yeah, that's good. You're in the shot.
Is that good? Are they in the shot? I'll put that over there.
Grogu's blocked a little bit. There you go.
Okay. We could do like a barbershop quartet, like. Ooh, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom. But they don't really talk that much, so I guess it would be mostly me, wouldn't it?
Grogu makes noises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rob doesn't really talk.
Also, this is pre chainmail, so he doesn't have the.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you haven't seen Boba Fett.
Season 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is really like the trailer for Mandalorian season 3. But anyway, yeah, that's nice. I like them, so they can be a team. So a team of people helping me out on the podcast that don't say a word. That'll be a big help. Thanks, guys. Okay. So anyway, so that's my segment on random crap traded in with trades. So we'll do that from time to time whenever one of our stores is like, hey, David, you'll never believe I got traded in with some stuff today. Okay. So anyway, cool stuff. Always coming into a Game Over store. Mostly video game related. 99% of it's video game related. Okay, but now that's it for that section of the show. So let's go on to level 3. And this week in level 3 for the feature segment, we're doing another episode of the Meet the Managers, where you get to meet, who the people are in charge of your local Game Over video game store. And this is going to be the Tacoma manager, Jacob, who we met last week on the show in part of the video footage from us moving and kind of remodeling his store. But so now we're going to go to an interview that we did with him, and I'm sorry in advance because there's a couple of clips that we had to kind of splice together, and I think we missed a little chunk. So, Dan, you're gonna have to work your magical editing on that and make it. I'm sure it'll be smooth and seamless, and nobody will even know that there were gaps.
That's how I do it.
That's how he does it. So anyway, let's get to know Jacob and see who is in charge of the Tacoma store, and then we'll come back after that. So enjoy the video from Jacob. Hey there, everyone. We're back with Game Overcast Meet the Managers. This is episode 2 of that segment, and this is Jacob from the Tacoma Mall store. So we're going to get to know him and see what makes him tick.
Yes.
So hi, Jacob. Thank you for being on the show this week. So you had a GBA as a kid, and that's a great system, especially for a kid, because you can throw it in a bag, take it to school, take it around, and they released a lot of cool games on GBA.
They did.
Yeah, my favorites were like the re-releases of all the Super Nintendo stuff, where you get just any Super Nintendo game, like Mario Kart.
The NES action ones, and they're on there.
Well, yeah, those too. The NES remakes, but also they just had just a lot of the Super Nintendo quality type games, like the Metroid games, and Mega Man. They had really cool games on GBA, and a lot of the RPGs like Final Fantasies and stuff were on there. A lot of the old ones.
That was me, like I said before, just being like a sucker for JRPGs. I played I remember I had a friend that I used to always borrow his copy of Golden Sun, so I used to always play the Golden Sun. Pokemon, so anything JRPG basically suckered me in. So Final Fantasy Tactics was on there, which was a great game too.
That's cool.
Yes, lots of good stuff on the Game Boy Advance.
All right. Do you have any like really momentous birthday, Christmas, anything like that after that point? Because once you started having your own consoles, when you would ask for things like for your birthday or Christmas, did you get one gift that like you were telling your parents, I gotta have this game, and then you got it?
I don't know, honestly. Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that I wanted, but I also had a single mom with 4 of us kids, so we were all kind of wanting a lot of stuff. So it was kind of slim pickings.
That's tough.
No, not. I feel like most of my like core memories of video games and stuff are like friends in my neighborhood. Like we all did like the game shuffle. Like we would all like shuffle GameCube games and Game Boy Advance games. So I feel like a lot of like when I was younger was like borrowing people games. So that's why now since I'm older, it's kind of dangerous because I like to buy them because I'm like, okay, well, I want to actually like have my own copy that I can just play at home now. So, so there's been a couple ones like I know like Pokemon Coliseum. That was one that I picked up because I was like, I never got to actually like have my own copy of it. I only like played it at other people's houses. So that was like a big one for me. I do remember the one year I got, this is random, but I really wanted a Wii actually. And my best friend when we were like in middle school got me a Wii. It was like the most bizarre thing. And she like got us matching Wiis and all. Wow. I'll never forget that. Because at the time I was like, we were kids. I was like, this is expensive. And she was like, I want us both to have Wiis. So that was like a momentous time or like a monumental time that I got gifted something.
That's a really good friend.
It was random. I wasn't expecting it to. So shout out to you, Michaela.
So this is where that led to, Michaela.
Yes,
like supporting the habit. Now he's running a video game store.
Yeah, very true.
Well, then tell me about what brought you to Game Over. So how did you get into like have you always worked retail jobs?
Yes.
And
so a little bit about my career history. So I've always loved retail. Right out of high school, I started at Blockbuster actually. So I worked at Blockbuster. That was my first job that I had. My second job. And so after Blockbuster, obviously that didn't work out too well. So I ended up shifting.
That didn't work out well for anybody.
I shifted into kind of working into the mall. So I kind of bounced around between a couple places, just trying to find my footings. I ended up working for a shoe company for about 8 years. So it's kind of like dove into that whole chaotic mess. So that was a very, very long time. So, and I kind of just worked for them for a really long time, just bouncing between stores and all over the place. And I ended up just wanting to do something that was a little bit not as high pressure, but still something that I could like kind of thrive in. So, I ended up seeing Game Over, an ad posted for it. So I had applied and I ended up interviewing with TN and I was working from home at the time. I had left retail for about a year with the whole pandemic and everything shutting down. And after working from home, I was like, I want to get back in there. I need to be with people, like I want to sell. I want to have that interactions, especially like team building and stuff like that. I interviewed with Tien and it was a great interview. I love Tien. Just right off the bat, it was like I could tell that he was obviously very excited about the job, and I'm a very passionate person, so I kind of saw that in him. And took a couple of days, he ended up offering to me, and I took the job. And honestly, I haven't really looked back. So that was in October. And it's just been great. We were in a little tiny space on the other end of the mall. Now we have this big boy store. So
the big boy store.
Yes. I'm very, very excited. So it's very, very good.
Oh, well, I can see that Tien is trying to call right now.
Yes.
Sorry, Tien.
Yes.
We'll be getting back to you very soon as we finish video recording. So Tien is great, and I totally agree. Like that's been my whole thing with Game Over. It's following a passion, because retail, it's a tough job. It's a grind. You work long hours, you work all your nights, weekends, you deal with customers, which sometimes are fantastic and sometimes, can be challenging.
Can be a little bit tougher.
It's a tough job. So, if you're not doing something you're passionate about with it, then, it makes it that much harder to stay someplace and stay happy. We definitely seek out people that have that passion for gaming. Because otherwise the retail grind it'll chew you up. It
really will. I think that's one thing that I really like about like Game Over and working here is before I've worked in retail spots where I haven't necessarily been like bought into the product 100%, but I'll make it work. But here, like, I actually, like, play a lot of video games. Yeah. Like, I live...
Like, no, I really like that game.
I actually,
you should
play video
game.
games. Basically, when I'm not working, I'm literally playing video games. So, so it's just one of those things where it's like I'm actually passionate about it, so it makes it a lot easier, for sure.
Okay. Well, awesome.
And I love the job. It's not only, like... Obviously, it's challenging in dealing with customers and, there's different obstacles in retails. But I don't know. I feel like I do great at it, so I love it.
Yeah. No, you've been doing great. So, we're happy to have you here. While we're here this week, we've been doing the big store move. So tell me about your thoughts of, the original space, which was beautiful in its own way. just small. But then what are your thoughts about the move? Like what the space was and what this new space is now that we're in?
Well, the big thing is it's obviously like way bigger. It's pretty drastically different in size.
Yeah.
But the last place was homey and it was kind of small. But this with the space and just like the lighting is just a lot more inviting, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then in this part of the mall, it's obviously like this is kind of like the main spot for Tacoma Mall. So the traffic's going to be way better. It's basically like a whole brand new Game Over store.
Yeah,
it really is when you think about it. So
oh yeah, and that's the way I look at it too.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a rebirth. So we've been in town for 5 years here in Tacoma, and we've got some dedicated customers. Some some people have been shopping with us for years.
Yep.
But I feel like where we were, because we were down that little side hallway. We got the retro gaming community because they actually, they'll Google, they'll find
it
game
on
stores.
Google.
Even the out of the way, hard to find places, they'll find them. So they found us for sure, and we really appreciate that. But now being in the main part of the mall, in the higher traffic part of the mall, we're going to get a lot more just casual, walk up business,
whole new clientele base,
impulse
honestly.
buyers and stuff that people that aren't necessarily looking for retro games, but then when they see us, they'll be like, wow, what is this game store?
Yeah.
So you're going to be reintroducing yourself basically to the community every single day because you're going to get new people every single day in the store.
Yeah, I'm excited, not even just for, like, obviously the new customers, and then, like, I'm really excited for the staff, too, because, like, obviously this space is just a huge upgrade for us. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for our regulars, though. Like, I feel like when our regulars, because we have a couple customers that come, like, twice a week and purchase stuff, or even just coming to see what's new, just pretty consistent regulars. So I feel like when they see this space, they're just going to be like, oh, like,
it's going to blow their minds.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to almost be like, I feel like people got overwhelmed when they went into the little store, and now I feel like when they come into this store, it's going to be way more overwhelming, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, in a good way, though. A good overwhelming.
Yeah, I think the old space was good for the retro community because it was small and tight, and, it was good for communication because you could talk to people in there. But as it got crowded, there was no place for people to go. It got tight in there. So in here, we can accommodate the flow. It'll get more traffic, but we can also accommodate more traffic because there's a lot of space in here to move around.
Yes.
So like on a busy Saturday, like today will hopefully be after we finish filming here, that you'll be able to accommodate 10, 20, 30 people at one time in this store. And in the other store, that would be a nightmare. If you could get 30 people in there, that would be an accomplishment.
If there was 30 people in the old store, I feel like people would walk up and be like, oh yeah, I'm not going in there. It's too busy. And people would be like sardines packed in there. So.
Yeah, no, nobody likes that, especially now. It's like you want space. So this is a very nice, spacious store. So we're really excited for it.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. Yeah, I am.
Well, cool.
It's going to be great. Great things coming from Tacoma for sure.
Okay. Well, we're very excited to see it. I'm excited to have been here this week working with you, and you and the whole crew here is great. So we've had a good time visiting and getting everything done. It's good to it feels good to do work, but it's also more fun to do work when you're passionate about it and when you're working with people that are really cool. So it just makes it easier for everyone.
Very
get
true.
along real well and work together. And so it's been a good dynamic. So let's shift a little bit away from video games just for a minute. And is there one thing you want to tell us? Tell me, just personally me, like nobody will watch or listen to this part, but just something about you that maybe a lot of people don't know, like a not video game thing, some kind of personal secret.
I feel like that's
What's
hard.
your deep, dark secret?
I feel like that's hard because I feel like I'm a very open person. Like I feel like I'm very open. Like I don't know. Like I normally put myself out there. I don't really hold a lot of stuff back. I feel like. Let's see. What's something that a lot of people don't know about me?
Yeah. Or what's a hobby maybe that you have outside of video games? Like what's another interest? So if you're not working or playing video games, what would you be doing? What other things you like?
So like I'd have to say honestly, like I basically like drag historian. Like I've seen every like drag queen show that you could literally think of. So that's a random fact about me, but like I love all those different shows. Okay. My brother was on a reality drag queen show, so
really?
Yeah, so
wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's like my random fact. I'm very much into I don't like do drag or anything like that, but I'm very much into the art style and all the different stuff.
a very, I mean, it's like gamers.
Yes, it
it's
is.
a very specific community.
It is.
And those people are extremely passionate.
Yes, it's like the horror community too. The horror community is the same thing.
Yeah,
you know?
it's small, but like those people, you get them going about horror movies, and you know,
yeah, you get the conventions. It's like it's very similar to gaming. You know, you get the conventions, and yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's amazing that there's so many, you know, like rabid followings of so many different niches, you know, of like fandom and just culture and everything out there. So everybody has a place. You know, there's some group and you know, something that interests everybody out there. So that's always great. Well, cool.
I'd say my other fact is horror, but I feel like I already said that earlier. Talking about Parasite Eve and Silent Hill and stuff.
Do you like horror, like movies and stuff?
Yeah, I really.
Just the games.
Yeah, I love like horror TV shows, horror movies, and stuff like that. So,
yeah. What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh God, that's so hard. That's so hard, honestly. I love like anything from anything Guillermo del Toro. I love. That's like one of my favorite directors. Anything he's a part of, I love. Gosh, favorite scary movie? I don't know. That's a hard question.
Classics like
I love
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, like all those like cult classics I love, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had this little Scream flashback when I just asked you that, because I just remember that movie when they're getting the calls from.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah, I love. How do you know my name? Yeah, I love all that kind of stuff. I'm really just into pop culture, honestly. Like anything from like horror, TV shows, gaming. I'm just really into pop culture, which is probably from retail, honestly.
Yeah.
So
because that's what every store in the mall they try and follow their trend, whether it's clothing or fashion. Shoes, gaming, everything. Well, cool. All right. Well, yeah, that's really all I can think of right now. Just ask about anything else that you want to share with anybody, or anything you want to say to our thousands and thousands of online viewers around the world?
Nope, nothing except for if you guys are in Washington State, come see us at the Tacoma Mall. We're going to be set up, so definitely come visit us and say hi. We have a giant store now. So
this is now officially the biggest and newest location of Game Over Video Games in the entire Washington State.
Very true, very true.
So you should definitely come check it out. And it's a cool mall. They actually have just about every store imaginable in this mall. There's an Apple store, there's an H&M, there's, I'm trying to think like all the big stores. I mean, we're next to Vans, and that's cool. And, there's Spencer. There's a lot of like cool stores. There's even another game store, I think. What's that one called? A Game Start or something?
Game Crazy. I'm just kidding.
No, but they're here too. So, you can get some new stuff from them and get the used stuff from us.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And I've enjoyed spending the week with you and your crew in the store.
Thank you. Thank
you. We will see you again soon.
Excellent. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks.
And we're back with Level 4, the boss battle. So this week, the boss battle is, this is going to be, I think, kind of a shorter segment this week, but it's kind of strange, too. This is about our consignment art program. So I don't know if you've been into a Game Over Video Game store recently, or even a long time ago. We've been doing this for years and years. But somewhere in the store, in every one of our stores, we have a section where we display local artist work. It's all video game related, lots of really cool stuff from various artists. We have almost 500 artists in the program now, nationwide. So, mostly Texas and Washington, of course, where we have stores, but it varies from store to store, and there's a lot of really neat, unique, gamer stuff that you can pick up. So definitely, I recommend checking that out when you're in our stores. But so we have this program, and we work with local artists, and they sign up for the program. It doesn't cost them anything. All you have to do if you want to sign up, if you're an artist that makes cool video game related stuff, you can email us at info at gameovervideogames.com. And then, I'll get your information and I'll send you like the application and you can sign up. And it's really cool. And then we split, proceeds with you. But I'll go into all that through the email. But so people sign up for it. People have done that with us for years and years. And for some reason, the only problem with this program is that from the beginning, we pay it out in checks, like actual like written checks, like your grandma used to write you for your birthday, that kind of check. And so, back in the day, in the beginning, in the early time of internet, people still paid for stuff a lot with checks. Obviously, now people don't use checks very much. But that's the way it's always been. That's the way we do it. And we have so many people, hundreds and hundreds of people. And I don't have all their, PayPal or Venmo or whatever information. So we still do checks. But the problem with the paper check, there's only one problem with the paper check, is if you don't pick it up, you can't get your money. So we have a lot of artists that do stuff. They sign up with the program. We put it in the store. We sell it. And we're like, okay, here's your commission checks, and we do it 4 times a year. So there's every quarter we write out checks. So I'm not writing them all the time, but like every quarter, we total up their sales for like January, February, March, and they get those checks at the end of April. And then April, May, June, get it at the end of July, and like that. So you get it like at the end of the 4th month for those first 3 months. Do it 4 times a year. And every time I send an email blast to all of them saying, hey guys, your checks are in. Go to your local store, wherever, they sign up and designate as their home store, the closest one where they can pick up their checks. And they're supposed to go pick them up. And for some reason, like a lot of people don't pick up their checks. I don't know why. But I email them and we keep them at the stores. And I'm not totally sure, but I think checks are only good for like 90 days or 60 days or something. And then technically the banks aren't supposed to cash them. We tell them to pick them up in 90 days. But we keep them at the stores normally for like a year, after that. And then after that, they come back to me here in the office. And so, if any of you are artists out there wondering like, hey, I might have a check from Game Over, you can email me. Just email info@gameovervideogames.com. And let me know who you are, what your artist number is, and I'll see if you have any checks waiting, but old checks waiting. But all the current ones are in your current home store. So I don't keep them here. They're at your store. So maybe I can just use this as like a public service announcement, because, we like your stuff. We want to pay you for your stuff, but you have to come pick up your check to get paid for your stuff. So if you're an artist and you haven't picked up a check in a long time from a Game Over store, go back to your home store or email me or call your home store or something and try and reach out and see if you have some money waiting. Because, most artists are probably not the richest people. And like, if you have money, even if it's $20 or $30 or, whatever, like, you might have lunch money. You might have gas. Well, not gas money anymore. But if you make a lot of money, you might be able to afford a tank of gas. But now that a tank of gas is like $100, I don't know if anybody has that kind of money. But anyway, if you're in our consignment program, please come to your local store, check to see if you have a check, and then pick up that check and cash that check. Check. Money. Come get it. So anyway, that's my boss battle. It's sometimes, it's a battle to spend money at Game Over. And sometimes, oddly, it's a battle just to give people money. It's like, don't you like money? I like money. If you write me a check, you can bet I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to cash that son gun. I'm going to cash it. But some people don't pick up their checks. So please, public service announcement, come pick up your checks, cash them, then you get your money and you can go spend it however you want. So that's it. That's the boss battle of the week. So cool consignment art in all of our stores. If you want to sign up, email info@gameovervideogames.com. And if you are an artist and you haven't picked up a check in a long time, why not? Get off the couch and come get money. Thank you. All right, so let's go on to the bonus level now, fan feedback, and see what everybody has been commenting on over the past week. And we've got some really good comments, so I'm excited about that part of the show. It's my favorite part. So let's go to the bonus level now and watch that section. And we're back with the final section of the show, the bonus level, fan feedback. All the comments from you, the viewers, people who take time out of their busy schedules to sit and listen to me for some reason. I don't know why, but I love you for doing it. So thank you. And here is the current fan feedback. Gunnar, the new listener from last week, we mentioned him on the show, and he's like, hey, thanks for mentioning me on the show. Thanks for sharing the love. He says, support you always. So thanks, Gunnar. We really appreciate it. He had been a customer for a long time and just found the show last week. So that's really cool. Gameplay Lick, who comments, all the time. We were talking about the different Pac-Man games last week and how many there are and how many were on that collection that's coming out. And they suggested Pac-Man Championship Edition blockbuster hits. So yeah, there's so many Pac-Man games. Like, we were having a hard time coming up with 14, but there's really like 50 Pac-Man games. If you list all the formats, all the versions that have come out over all the years, it's crazy. So anyway, yes, lots of cool Pac-Man games, but just getting a collection of 14 is pretty neat because normally Pac-Man is just like a little, like it's the token retro game on the retro game collection, and they throw in some version of Pac-Man. But to have a bunch of Pac-Man versions on one compilation, I think that's pretty cool. But it's a retro gamer appreciated thing. So I'll get one of those. Okay. Also, Chris, our official badass, who still is a badass, says thanks for answering the follow-up questions about Washington. He was asking like why we went to Washington and why not just keep expanding around Texas or the surrounding states. Nothing against the surrounding states. They're awesome. But I just wanted to go to Seattle. It's a big gaming market. It's a place I like to visit. So yeah, if you're gonna have to travel a lot for work, and you have the ability to pick where you go, wouldn't you pick Seattle? I would. So anyway, also he appreciated the insights on the pricing and trade values and stuff like that. And, he makes a comment that it's always a good balance, or it sounds like a good balance that's good for customers and good for business. And that's really the key, to any kind of resale shop like this. And it's, for all the people that think, wow, the prices are super cheap at Game Over, or wow, the prices are super high at Game Over. There's people that think both right now, and both think it's crazy, like, wow, this is crazy low, or wow, these prices are crazy high. The truth is in the middle. Like we wouldn't succeed and we wouldn't have been in business for 17 years if all of our prices were horrible, on selling stuff. Nobody would buy it. Our stores would be totally stocked, but we'd have no money coming in, so we'd be out of business. If our prices were all too low, our stores would always be empty and people would buy everything. They'd clean us out. And then we'd have nothing to sell, and then we'd be out of business. So obviously we're doing something right. We try and walk that middle ground, and it is a tightrope to walk. It's a very narrow path, and doing a store like this, you can never please everyone. You can never even please both sides of that equation. There's always going to be some people unhappy about trade-in values or why are the prices so high, and there's always going to be some people that are that when we have a sale or something especially, that'll come in and just clean us out on stuff because the prices are so good. And so both people can be really hard to please and keep satisfied as customers. But we try and walk that path down the middle. We try and pay fairly for trades. So we get them coming in because people have to be willing to sell them. So we have to offer enough to make them willing to sell it. But then also sell for prices that are low enough where people are willing to buy it, but that they don't come in and buy the entire store and clean us out either. So it's always a balancing act. So thanks for appreciating that, and for people that run resale shops or have worked in one, you can definitely understand that and relate. And to some people that are on those two extremes, they'll never be able to understand, but that's okay. So anyway, yes, it's a tough balancing act. Leptonics says howdy, so howdy back. And they saw the clearance hardware section in one of our stores in Houston, and because of this show, so shout out to Game Overcast, they were like, ooh, now that I see that sale's coming up on the clearance stuff, I'm going to wait and buy a couple of those until that sale's going on and then get them for half price. So that is a smart individual. And so smart people watch Game Overcast. Because, where else can you find like the owner of the company telling you in advance what all the sales and deals are going to be? It's awesome, right? So anyway, so you're welcome. So come back next week when they're on sale and clean us out. Have at it. Let's see. And that's it. So that's all the comments this week. And so just in general, as always, thank you so much to all the fans, of not just the Game Over stores and buying stuff from us and shopping in our stores and supporting us, but the people that watch this show. And, if you share it, if you comment on it, subscribe to like our YouTube channel or one of the podcast streaming services where you can listen to this show, and especially the audio listeners, because a lot of this show does involve video content. And so I got to give props to you if you're listening audio only, because, I hope it's entertaining enough, the audio only version. But I wish I could squeeze video somehow into all the podcast streams, but I guess that's for YouTube. But anyway, so thank you all for watching, for listening, for commenting on the show. feel free to comment on Facebook or on YouTube or any of the streams, and or you can email me anytime at podcast@gameovervideogames.com. If you want to email and ask the owner of Game Over Video Games a question, you can do that. Podcast@gameovervideogames.com. And I'll get your question. I'll look for them online and on the social media feeds, and try and answer them on the show in this section every week. So it's a way we can connect and get to know each other a little bit. So feel free to reach out anytime on that. And yeah, just in general, thanks for watching and listening and subscribing to the show and everything. Really appreciate your support and business in the stores. So I hope you all have a great week, and we hope to see you soon. So take care, and game over. Hubba dubba doo, hubba dubba da. Doo wop, doo wop, doo wop, doo wop. I am a Rob and I am a Grogu. We're gonna sing a sweet song for you. Okay. There's your outtake for the end of the show.
I like it.
Boom. Okay. All right. That was fun. We should do that all day. We can harmonize. Okay. So, bonus level.
Technically, it's
Ready?
not harmonizing because
It's just me.
Yeah.
And I have no musical talent anyway, so it's just a dude making
I
noise.
wouldn't say you have no musical talent. But you just busted that out of nowhere.
That just came out of my butt.
Yeah.
That's no good. All right. Well,
Sometimes good stuff comes out of your butt.
sometimes it does.
All right, ready?
More on that on Jerry Springer tomorrow.